Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is B and I do videos on topics to help you look and feel your best. We talk about everything from luxury, fashion, hair care, to self-care, self-love, and self-growth. So if you're interested in any of those things, then I would love for you to join our family by clicking on that subscribe button and that notification bell to make us official. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about whether or not designer bags are done. This is a topic that YouTube has constantly been recommending to me within the past 2 weeks. So, you know, your girl got a little curious just to see what it's all about. And I found out that there was a video made from the channel HRH Collection. And I'm not sure what the girl's name is, but she made a bold claim that designer bags are done. Pretty much she was over it. She was tired of seeing people with designer bags. And if you do plan on checking out her channel after you watch this video, I'm gonna let you guys know right now, things are very different over there on that side of town. And what I mean by this is that she is very much into satire and she's very much into sarcasm. Like, the girl be cussing out her subscribers and they love it. So just be prepared for that. Fair warning, because I went in and I did not expect that at all. Now, whether or not she was serious about what she was saying, whether or not she was serious about what she was saying is still up in the air for me, because just based off of her personality, it's hard to pick up on it. A part of me does feel like she meant it, and then the other part is like, okay, this could just be like a troll thing. I don't know, but I think that the conversation itself is a good topic to unpack. So we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. So in her video and many of the response videos, there were several reoccurring themes and reasons that I found why people kept saying that they were done with designer bags. So the first main theme that I saw in a lot of these videos is exclusivity. A lot of people were upset because they were seeing their bags on Instagram, they were seeing their bags in town. They were just tired of the bag, you know, being accessible to everybody, that it made it feel less special to them. Now, personally, I can understand that. In a world where there are billions of people, people want to feel unique and they want to feel like individuals, and I don't think there's a problem at all with that. However, a lot of times after people mention exclusivity, what they did is they talked about like how, oh, you know, basic influencers had it, or basic Betty's had it, or just, you know, nobody's had the bag. To me, that's very problematic. I can understand wanting to feel unique and not feeling special because you see an item on everybody else. Like, for example, I don't know, I'm about to date myself a little bit and share my age, but back in the day when I used to watch Sister Sister, there was an episode where the twins were going to prom, and I think it was maybe one or both of them, I don't remember, but they went into prom and their dress was seen on a whole bunch of, you know, girls, and so it made them feel some kind of way. I'm putting myself, you know, in their shoes. I would feel the same way too. Nobody wants to see something that is so special to you on everybody else because it makes it not special anymore. So that part is fine, but I don't think that you should diminish the other people that have access to that same item. Because when you go as far as name calling somebody else, hence, you know, basic Bettys, basic influencers, I feel like you've just entered like a completely different space. You've entered a space of insecurity, if I'm being honest, because nobody else's actions or nobody else's ability to have access to something should make you so mad to the point where you need to verbally attack the person. They're not upset about the masses having access to designer bags. Let's call a spade a spade. What they're really upset about is losing the status that comes with having a designer bag. And that's on everything. I think what has changed has been social media, for sure. I think now people have access to certain lifestyles that they may not live. All you have to do is put in a hashtag or follow the right person, and now all of a sudden, you know, you're on vacation with someone. Now all of a sudden you can learn about the ins and outs of different bags. You know, now all of a sudden you can live through other people. And social media was a point that was constantly brought up, but I don't think that that's any different than being a wealthy person and being around other wealthy people with bags. So imagine living in Beverly Hills and, you know, having a life where you're very comfortable, you're very wealthy, and you have friends, and you live in this city where everyone can afford the same things that you can afford. It really isn't a big deal. It just becomes a part of your norm. But I do feel like people who are not in that position tend to look at things a little bit differently, because the bags are not normal for them, right? So they're not used to seeing, like, they didn't grow up in a space where everybody had designer bags, and so for them they worked really hard and now they have the bags. But then on social media, when they go, they see, oh my god, everybody is able to have access to this thing that I worked so hard for. I think it would hurt them more. It would, you know, mean more to them than, you know, people who this is nothing for them. And who really cares? Like, who cares? Do you know how many problems there are out in the world? Like, you're here and you're worried because the masses have designer bags. There are people who cannot eat. Literally, in other countries, there are people that don't even know where their next meal is. But you're so emotional, or you're so upset and wasting so much energy because other people have a designer bag. That is what you're wasting your energy and your time on. Seriously? It really doesn't have to be as extreme as saying designer bags are done, you know? I feel like that's so dramatic, and I feel like you wish. Like, that's never gonna happen. They've been around for so long. I think there are different waves where people just kind of get tired of a bag, and again, that's so normal. You know, they've been overdone, you've been seeing them everywhere, you kind of want something else, and it doesn't need to go any further than that. Like, be over it, try something else, and move on. But don't try to convince everybody else that they're done, because now all of a sudden you're upset. Don't drag us bag lovers in your self-pity, because people like me, I feel like people who are truly into designer bags, people like me who look at them like as an art, like they can never be done for us. That's just, to me, like that's laughable. One thing I noticed about HRH's video is she was like, oh, you know, you can get a watch, you know, maybe buy a watch, you know, everybody's not on that. Like, girl, are you into bags or are you not? Like, it seems like you are more into being different than being a part of a certain culture. You're either involved in the bag culture or you're not. Like, it's not something that you can just flip and flop. Like, oh, I'm into bags now because nobody has it, but now that everybody's on it, I'm gonna go into watches. This is not just a thing just to do, and I feel like that's the problem. I think a lot of people have just been doing it because, you know, this is a thing to do, or doing it because I want to seem like I'm better than you and I'm more exclusive. And I feel like for those types of people, then yes, designer bags are done for them. Like, genuinely, I feel like if you're in it for all of the wrong reasons, then yes, designer bags are done for you. But for people like myself, I don't think that there will be a day where, you know, designer bags will be done, because we truly appreciate bags. Now, I can respect the argument that certain designer bags are just overdone. I know for me, the Chanel Classic Flap was a bag that I wanted for the longest. It was my dream bag, and you know, it has been something that was pushed on social media a lot. Like, a lot of influencers have it, and it's become very, you know, mainstream. And so to this day, I'm still asking myself, like, is this a bag that I'm going to get? You know, it was next on my list of bags to get, and instead of getting that, I got a Louis Vuitton Capucine bag. So that part of that argument, I can agree with that. I watched Erica's Girly World, and she shared, you know, a similar idea, and she was just saying that because these bags have been so overdone, she's going to be a lot more selective with the types of bags that she gets. She's going to invest in pieces that are, you know, less mainstream and stuff like that. And she's going to spend her money, you know, on traveling, vacationing instead. And she's going to be a lot more conscious about her consumption of these bags. I feel like that's exactly where I am. I am very thoughtful with the types of bags I have. Currently, I have all neutral bags, and every single piece in my collection are pieces that I see myself keeping like for my entire life. I'm not really somebody who buys, you know, trendy bags, and eventually I will add some color to my collection, but I really want to fall in love with a bag I get, and so far the neutral bags that I have are the bags that I've been in love with. I just feel like some people need a break from certain bags, and I think that's perfectly fine, you know? If you are tired of seeing the Chanel Classic Flap, don't buy the Chanel Classic Flap. Just buy something else that makes your heart sing. The next argument about why designer bags are done was the fact that brands were not treating their customers the way that they used to pre-pandemic. So during the pandemic, a lot of the brands were having people line up outside of the store, and they weren't really catering to them or making them feel special like they used to. Now, this is something I definitely agree with 100%, and that I feel strongly about. Like, brands, you guys need to get it together, because for the price that your customers are paying for these bags, you need to go out of your way to make us feel special, because many people save up for months at a time, some people for years, just to be able to purchase these bags. And when they do go to purchase it, I really feel as though you need to lay out the red carpet and make it a whole thing. And since the pandemic, it seems like a lot of that disappeared. Like, you have people out here standing in line and you're next. Like, ma'am, I am highly offended. I get treated like royalty at Chick-fil-A, and my meal don't cost more than $8.99. So I'm gonna need you to step it up and figure things out, because that is unacceptable. I think we all know that that is not okay. And I think that brands need to start noticing that, because people do speak with their dollars. Another argument to tie into that one is the fact that a lot of people say they are over designer bags because the quality has been going down, but the prices have been going up. And some of these brands are really pushing it with the prices. Chanel. But in all seriousness, I think that people just want to get their money's worth. I think I completely understand why, you know, designer bags cost a little bit more, because the craftsmanship, the leather, the this, the that. But at some point, honey, like, everybody can't be Hermes. You know what I mean, Chanel? I support it. I support you being done with designer bags if the brands that you love specifically are not putting out what you expect from them. That's the argument. That is the biggest, and that is, I feel like, the most justifiable one. And if I were in that situation, like if there was just like one brand I loved or two brands that I loved and I just felt like, okay, the quality is trash, I would be done too. But that's not the case for me. I love various brands, so I don't think that designer bags will ever be done for me. I think I may just be over like certain brands. Like, I could be like, oh, I'm done with this brand because every time I buy something, it's always an issue, it's always a problem, I'm gonna try something else. I would never just be like, oh, they're done completely. Alright guys, so those were my thoughts. Thank you so much for watching my video. As always, if you like this video, then show me that you liked it by pressing on the like button. Also, go ahead and comment your thoughts down below. Let me know. Do you guys feel like designer bags are done, or are these people crazy? Finally, don't forget to click on that subscribe button and that notification bell to make us official.